I want you to protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Fight hard but fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good luck.
Champion against champion. Here we go.
Does this mic work? Well then, fuck that mic.
Hello and welcome to First Strike Podcast, episode 29.
Hard work.
Probably.
Is that what his name?
What? Hard work dedication.
Hard work edition.
I am your host. I am your host, Christian.
I'm Jesse. I'm Lou.
And I'm Chris. I was afraid people were gonna dox me. You know, I'm just gonna say Chris.
No, this is probably our biggest episode so far. Yes. I mean,
the topic itself, right?
The topic.
The topic itself is. I mean, we've had some fun podcasts and some big ones in regards to the red blue corner was fun, which we haven't done in what?
Yeah, it's been a while, but
I know we will.
So the time has come. We've been all waiting for this. Brian Stan has finally been released.
The great American.
So
I never minded him. I had no problem with his commentary.
It was okay, but it wasn't the best.
Was he Joe Rogan? I mean,
no, he wasn't Mike Goldberg either.
So you can't be either or. You got to get out, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. No, but I think they'll be fine. I mean, what he's doing is a good move for him. He's being a COO of some sort of real estate branch, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
good for him.
He says good for his family because he doesn't have to travel. So hats off to him.
As much as I would love to travel, but making good money.
True,
either way.
right? I'd do anything to be an analyst.
I'd be anything.
Sports commentator.
Have his job, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
He just messed up and got a family.
That's right. I ain't doing that.
Well, I guess we talked about everything we had to cover today. Thank you guys for listening. That helps.
See you next week.
Any last
Nothing else to talk about.
Is there anything big going on?
Nah.
Anything this Saturday? I don't know.
No, not at all.
We
it's
have
not like Christmas for sport fans.
It is my dad's birthday.
Oh, is that?
Oh, is it? Yeah. So let's talk about your dad's birthday.
Yeah, he'll be 61.
If your dad says 61. We need to eat. We need to go out to eat, and it's going to be in New York, and you're going to miss the fight. What would you tell him?
I would be like, Dad, I'm coming down with the flu. I'm sorry.
Dad, you had 61 years on this planet. You can miss one.
It's funny because my sister, and obviously not Rachel, but my oldest sister is actually having a party that Saturday. So she texted my dad.
It's a shame.
She texted my dad and said, "Hey, Dad, I was just letting you know that your granddaughter is having a birthday party, and she wants you to come. And just let me know if you could come and how many people you're gonna bring." And he said, "Sorry to break it to you, but I already got friends coming over to my house because I'm drinking and I'm gonna have the fight."
Oh yeah.
So he's gonna go to the clubhouse, man. He's like, I already got plans.
Yeah.
Tell Juju she'll be alright.
It's only one birthday.
I'll see her next year.
It's true. It's true. I mean, when you look at it,
you can't miss it.
It sounds like mad head, but it's once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
When we're 50, we'll be like,
Is it the solar eclipse of fighting?
Ooh. How often does solar eclipse come? I don't know.
500 years.
I think the last one was 1918.
Yeah. The last one was.
But like the next one isn't supposed to be for like.
And what hour was it? Do you guys know?
It was like 1 to 3.
Because I know my ass came out on the deck this.
Try to see
today, and then it's like it's dim. Like, it's like, why does it look so dim? It feels like there's something covering the sun.
Was it really?
And I go and look up, and then my eyes start hurting.
More down south on TV. It was on the news.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't dramatic.
I didn't realize.
I noticed an odd dimness in the sky.
Yeah.
It was
that sun was powerful.
If you put like an overlay or some sort of cover on the sun.
My dad actually took his. I know this had nothing to do with fighting, but it was this.
This is solar eclipse of fighting. Right?
This is the sun versus the moon. What are we talking about here? But my dad actually used his. He's a welder. He used his welding shield, and he took a picture like that, and it came out pretty dope.
That's pretty cool. That's cool.
But back to fighting.
Yeah, there's some cool pictures online.
Well, you gotta miss it. I don't care what you guys are doing. You gotta call off work if you're working overnight.
I'm already off.
I changed my shift.
They gave him that mean closing shift.
Yeah, and I was like, eat 12 to 8. Sorry.
Seriously, you can't even miss. To me, I can't miss anything.
Even the undercard? I have no idea what's on the undercard.
I don't want to miss the
any words. I don't know. Like I gotta watch the day of. I gotta watch a few fights on both ends.
Now I know
weigh-ins again.
I know in UFC they got the weigh-ins.
They haven't had a countdown show.
That's it. That's well.
Oh, do they?
Friday will be the weigh-ins.
They do that. The countdown. I
they
forgot
have the
about
embedded.
That.
The embedded came out today.
Yeah, I watched it. It was
whoa! Good. So they're gonna have both.
Of course, yeah.
That's different.
Yeah,
UFC's
counter programming with Showtime.
That's new. I didn't think they'll do that, but
UFC has to promote it either way, embed it, and then Showtime's doing the content like Chris said. So both companies have to promote. So
I wish I could see some sparring footage though. Yeah. They're not going to release.
Well,
it.
let's talk about the sparring footage that we saw.
Yeah, well.
Very confusing
we should
question.
Speak probably of the events that occurred before that footage was released, because we didn't even touch on that.
Yeah,
we didn't even touch on that Paulie I hate his last name.
Malignaggi.
Are you Italian?
Yes.
Then you could do it. Yeah, you can say the last name.
No, but he sucks with names.
I
don't know. I do suck.
Malignaggi. I'm just going to say that. But yeah, that interview came out with Ariel Helwani. He had a long interview, and I was listening to it while he was like,
Christian was
playing Battlefield.
I was playing Battlefield.
Before you say anything. Yes. Yeah, I believed everything Paulie said. I was like, Connor's done this before, or Chris, I forgot the Everdeen. I don't know his last name. But there was another boxer he had sparred with, and that boxer complained of edited footage.
Oh, when he was preparing against Nate Diaz.
Yeah. That boxer also complained. So I was like, ooh, is this really true? Is Connor really treating him like shit? And the way I viewed it, I was like, well, Paulie talked a lot of shit. So I mean, you're not gonna get the best behavior out of Connor.
No one can out talk shit Connor. So.
Yeah. So then.
So you believed he pushed him?
No.
Or you believe the?
I'm talking about events prior.
Yeah, before the sparring.
Okay. Yeah, because Connor released that image. And I was like, of course, 12 rounds, you can get good shots in and take a photo, and it looks, you can get a perception that was an ass for it.
Sorry to interrupt, but he didn't release those photos. His camp did. The only
Which
photo
is weird, because some of them were on his page.
The only photo he has of him and Paulie was when the hands were behind his back. That's because Paulie said, "Oh, I could beat Connor with one hand behind my back," and then Connor did that just to out of spite, because Connor. He has the memory of... he remembers everything. Yeah. So he keeps all that shit in the back of his mind stored.
So I'm assuming he doesn't really use his own Instagram. Like, I'm assuming is it his team that posts or something?
Connor, no, he posts his own stuff, but
really?
he has MacOfficialLife.com.
Yeah, Mac Life, yeah.
His sparring partners and his coaches are on that as well.
So then that drama brewed, and I kind of sided at the moment with Paulie.
I agree.
I did. I won't lie. And I was like, fuck, man. And he's saying that, Connor sucks, and he was talking shit the whole time. Granted, we still don't know whether it's true or not entirely. But then they released that footage, and what did you think?
At the moment, I was just like, okay, well, Paulie's just getting back at Connor for all the jibber and jabber and going back and forth. And then I started to believe, well, let's see how they do in sparring, and then if there's anything released or if anything dramatic happens, we'll see what happens. Because Connor, he would release something, or the camp, or Dana, like he released the video of the sparring session. But I'm more interested in what happened in the other 35 minutes of that 12-round fight. Because Joe Rogan had a great point. He said, was Paulie even in shape for that 12-round session? Because he came right off a plane from commentating one of the fights.
Yeah, he made it seem versus
Chris. Yes, yeah. So it's a good point. I mean, at the same time, Connor doesn't really care. It's a sparring partner. His job was to
I think he just wanted to make a point with Paulie.
Of course. Paulie's job was to get the shit beat out of him. Would you agree or not?
But that's what Connor wanted. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think Connor proved the point, but not in the best way, because Paulie wasn't probably in 12-round shape, and he's not the boxer he used to be, because he used to be a 2-time champion in boxing. So, but
now I don't know how rare that is. know,
if you land the punches Connor did land, if you land punches on Paulie like that, I don't care how old he is. That's great. Yeah. Even if he's your sparring partner or not. Paulie is a respected boxer.
So how do you think Connor looked in the
Paulie's head jerked back?
How do you think he looked? Those lefts caught him pretty clean.
The two left hands.
Times you've seen
before he got dropped,
water spray out of him, sweat spray out of him.
His head almost came off.
Those two left hands, they hurt him. Like Connor said, that's a concussed man that doesn't know what's happening to him. He didn't push him.
He said that's he said He said that's concussion talk.
If that's a push,
no, that's clean.
That's not no push.
That's clean. I mean, there's some minor complaints because he had his right hand under the head, or over the head.
In boxing, that's considered dirty.
But I've seen Floyd do it quite a lot.
I've seen a lot of boxers.
I see Floyd do it pretty well, and as long as the ref lets you get away with it, and it's not cheating.
All right, How do you think his actually like stand up looks though? Like his positioning,
It's odd,
his guard.
but it's
not boxing.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's something Floyd has never seen, and that's
true.
that's just facts.
It
It's
is.
that weird karate stance where they're just using their
You
hands.
can't box like that.
He's about to
We'll
box
see.
like that.
I would love to see where he approaches.
Yeah.
I really do.
If
We'll
he's
see.
boxing like that, I really think he might get knocked out.
It is.
He's gonna get knocked out.
He got brittle hands, but anyway, that stance is funky.
Floyd only
it's
knocks
odd,
people out with sucker
but,
punches.
It's something Floyd's never seen.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just telling the God honest truth. So,
I was excited when that footage came out, though. It was nice. You know, it was nice
And
to
Dana
see
White
some
released it,
footage
too,
because
yeah.
it's so much suspense, so much
yeah.
ambiguity. Ew, so much
They're releasing
suspense behind what Conor's doing in training camp. I'm interested to know.
Yeah, they're releasing the entire footage after the fight. They're
hoping maybe we
Dana
forget
White.
and they don't.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Who knows?
We'll see. Because after the fight, quite frankly, unless he KOs Floyd, I don't give a shit what it looks like. You know.
Yeah. If he
I
knocks out Floyd, they don't need to lose.
Yeah.
I just think it proved Conor had heavy hands, but besides that, I think his stance was bad.
He had a lot of rapid punches, as
Yeah,
Floyd said,
that's what
when
I
they
was
were
gonna
in the
say.
clinch. He
Yeah,
was throwing
Floyd
like these-
considered him a dirty fighter.
Well, Floyd had no consideration to consider anybody dirty.
Yeah.
He was beating up his wife.
Yeah, but yeah, you can't.
He'd be working it.
Or what's his name? The
Victor
guy.
Ortiz?
Yes, Victor Ortiz.
Yeah, he's one of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dirtiest
Floyd-
fighters.
Yeah, Floyd shouldn't speak when it comes
But I feel like he was swinging a little reckless, and I mean it is sparring,
Probably
but
was just throwing around.
it
Throwing his hands
Either way,
that didn't convince me.
he has to throw like that against Floyd.
What was it?
Has to
Paulie
lose.
looked like he was getting pushed to the turnbuckle like wrestling. Man. That one strike that pushed Paulie to the
Yeah,
turn.
that
to the
shitty
ropes.
shoulder roll he tried to do.
Yeah, he's
You
definitely
can't
no
mimic
Floyd when it
Floyd.
comes to the shoulder roll. He's no Floyd. So I think Conor didn't call him. They didn't call him for, let's say, mimicking Floyd because
You can't.
you
mimic Floyd
can't. You
Mayweather.
can't. I mean, you can't do what Floyd can.
Well, we had that incident happen. That was the talk of MMA for what, like a week.
Yeah.
But
It just proved.
Well, it was
Conor.
for several weeks because Paulie
Yeah.
had his own sob story for week 10 of fights.
That's true.
He had his world tour sob story where everybody
He was on
he was on
everybody's show.
several shows. I think he was even on like a Fox 24 channel in like in Las Vegas. I don't know.
correct me if I'm wrong. After the footage, is Conor odds of winning going up?
Yeah,
It is, right?
they just got updated today. His odds are plus 300.
Which is,
Which is still tremendously-
I don't talk that betting
It's
odds
extreme,
talk.
extreme mismatch, but
It was plus 900 like 2 weeks ago.
you got to realize that. I mean, I know I said right after that press conference, I guarantee those numbers are going to start shifting because he has a way of addressing people who doubt him as well
course,
as
'cause people
making the
believe-
person next to him look incompetent. Yeah.
And plus, people believe the hype and like me. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to say.
I'm not saying Conor's gonna win here, but I like when people hype up the fight. It gets me like, you know.
No, of course. I would you rather that, you know, or
Yeah.
not?
Yeah,
I need
of course.
Conor. I need him. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
unless you want Demetrius Johnson.
I want to fight Ray Bork. Who?
Well, are you guys ready to actually dive into the fight aspect of it?
Not
Is it
yet.
well? Let's get that random news out of the way.
Well, there's one more thing. 8-ounce gloves.
Oh yes, that new announcement as well.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that? Is the advantage for Conor or Floyd?
I love these people. But fucking Mac Kellerman says it's an advantage for Floyd.
It's an advantage. For,
How's that advantage?
It's advantage for both because
I think there's advantages for both and
Yeah.
disadvantages.
Yeah. It's an advantage for both. One, because Floyd has fought in 8-ounce gloves his entire career except when he fought Cotto, De La Hoya, and like 2 other fighters I can't name at the time. Floyd has fought in 8-ounce gloves his entire career.
Did he fight
Pacquiao.
Canelo with 8-ounce gloves?
Canelo? I believe not. I think he fought in 10. Because that fight was at 150.
Okay, because that was
But-
one of his most impressive victories.
Yeah.
That I
That
see.
is one of his best.
Yeah. But as I was saying,
Canelo's
it's an
stupid.
advantage for both fighters to get knocked out. It's just straight fact.
Yeah, because Floyd, I mean, he has what, 26 KOs, 27,
Yeah.
and I know most of them in the majority of his career. And his last one was in 2011,
Yeah, against
Victor Ortiz.
Ricky
Yeah.
Hatton.
and then the one before that
yeah,
was
Ricky
2008.
Yeah.
So would I consider him a knockout puncher?
No.
No, not as of late. How about that?
Yeah,
Would I consider Conor one? Yeah.
yeah.
I just don't know with the gloves if he is.
Mhm.
I don't.
Yeah. If it was 4-ounce gloves,
Of course. I think most people in the world,
different.
even Floyd would be a KO puncher with 4-ounce
yeah,
gloves.
of course.
Even with those brittle hands.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that notification, I literally quoted it on Twitter. I was like, "This changes nothing," because you still have to hit Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it has an advantage of just
It's a marketing point.
someone getting knocked out.
It's definitely a marketing point, and I'd rather it that way too.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
I mean, I'm glad it's 8 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 12 rounds?
Yes.
It's 15.
You're lying.
No, I'm lying.
Yeah.
Why would you think it's less?
I don't know.
Championship bout.
Yeah.
Is it?
Floyd still got those belts.
Now
right?
he vacated all of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
That's
it's the Mayweather title shot.
Yeah.
So come on.
Oh yeah, I didn't
That's
know
the
it.
king of
'cause
boxing.
Yeah.
If it's an
That's the
exhibition fight,
That's a
like,
Mayweather belt. You know,
maybe it's
Connor
8
said the
rounds or
McGregor.
something.
I should have my own belt. So that is the Mayweather belt that's on the line on
That's very
Saturday.
true.
49-0. That's crazy.
and he's about to beat.
Well, except how many rematches did he only have?
2.
Maidana twice.
Mm-hmm. And he had.
Who did he fight twice besides that? I couldn't think.
He
So
had,
that's like 46, 47 competitors that just weren't successful.
I know he had another rematch with another fighter, but I don't remember at the moment. It was before Oscar De La Hoya. It was one of his split decisions, which was very controversial because his opponent landed more shots against Floyd. It was when he was younger in his career. I don't remember the name by the moment right now.
Yeah, so I would say that 46 people tried. And
Either way, he's the greatest boxer of all time. That's just my opinion.
I can't
What?
believe he used to be
What?
the money team. He used to
No,
want to
no,
buy
it's
the
just-
merchandise when he was younger.
What you mean? Conor McGregor's the best boxer of all time.
If he wins.
I still think you gotta.
Who are you thinking of when he says that? Is
But-
it the,
Who, Ali?
Yeah, you gotta. I feel like you gotta throw Ali and
He was
number
only in
one.
one division. He lost 5 times.
Bro, it's boxing.
well, heavyweight division is a tough fucking division.
I feel like it's bigger than wins and losses. It's. I think Mayweather is the best defensive fighter ever.
Oh,
Yeah,
by far.
And easily the best fighter of my generation.
Yeah,
Easily,
my of
easily.
course.
Yeah, of course.
Hands down, but you've got Sugar Ray. You got both Sugar Ray squared. Sugar Ray squared. You've got Muhammad Ali.
Sugar Ray squared.
You got Tyson up there.
You've got Tyson.
Rocky
So,
Marciano.
I hate, for a sport of that long, I hate saying that he is the best definitively, but absolutely he's
Roberto
one of
Duran.
the best.
I feel like it's not like UFC, whereas it just kind of got built 20 years ago. This is boxing.
100 plus years.
Well,
Essentially.
if you ever heard of, I've said it a few times. If when Floyd, like, obviously he's gonna defend his own career and everything, but like when he convinces other people, like reporters on ESPN and other organizations, etc., he's pretty convincing. Like he was he was
He's in the
last.
conversation.
He beat more champions, Hall of Famers, had championships in 5 different weight classes, even though it's like a few pounds difference. And stuff like that.
5 different
Bro, I just seen this in Dingo and the other guy.
Terrence Crawford, no offense,
Yeah.
but Ndingo wasn't in his league.
Bro, and I seen Crawford have 1 million belts on him, and I'm like, I never heard of him in my life.
And he's so good.
I don't know the value of belts as they are in the UFC. You know, when you're a 2-time champion, you're the first one in 20 years.
Honestly, do those divisions have names? Like,
Yeah.
Super welterweight, super feather, you know, like the super
Flat.
light.
it's every 2 pounds.
It really is.
Either way, 49-0, perfect record.
No, yeah,
So
Mayweather has got me money before, and
And a
He's
lot
made
of his
himself
wins. I mean,
money, his
look
family.
at his wins. Some of them are majority and split.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Ooh.
So even judges thought, you know, in some cases he lost. And I mean, I'm not doubting his greatness. I mean, I gotta.
not at all.
My tips for Conor to win are like 20 points because there's so much you have to do to beat Floyd at his best. And I still think at 40, his reflexes, his speed's gonna be just as it was 38 against Berto. Berto was slow, you know. Berto was slow when he was 38, 36. I think he beat Canelo when he was 36, and Canelo was like 23.
and that's when they were saying, "Oh, Canelo is the one you don't want to face." This, and
Yeah, because
that.
he was undefeated at the time. He
was
said the same
fucking
thing about
impressive
Ricky
because-
Han.
And he made Canelo look like a joke.
I know.
The man
I think
was-
that's one of his finest performances.
Yeah. I watched the fight plenty of times.
Because Canelo had nothing.
I
I think it was a terrible game plan on his behalf because he tried more the outboxing.
He choked
I
him.
feel like the last close fight I saw with Mayweather was
Cotto, probably.
Cotto, I thought he...
Cotto was a close one.
Pacquiao, I
Pacquiao
felt when
was
I
a
was
close.
watching Pacquiao, I was like, Mayweather's doing what he does. You know,
Yeah.
I felt like it was Mayweather's fight the whole time.
The closest fight of Mayweather's career is by far Oscar De La Hoya.
That and Cotto, but Mayweather said himself Cotto was his
wasn't a
toughest
contest
opponent.
for me.
Really? Because Mayweather himself said that was his toughest opponent.
Yeah. I mean, Cotto had the power, but Cotto's face at the end of the fight was...
Floyd's was
horrible.
busted up.
Yeah, a
He
little
didn't even
bit.
know it was
Yeah.
got busted up. My stiff jab by Floyd.
Well, Madonna one was tough for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do they all have in common? They make it a fight.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make it a boxing contest like Canelo unfortunately did.
Mm-hmm.
They make it a fight.
And then Mosley rocked him in one round and when they fought. But then he shut him out the
Mosley's
rest
ass,
of the fight.
At least that fight. Just that he clipped him.
Yeah, and plus Mosley was older. So.
Well, now we talking fights. Let's get into the actual fight in
We
itself.
talking fights, son?
We'll cover the UFC news at the end of the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
This is
Just
what
a
people
few
want to hear.
I know.
So let's get to it, Christian. How many pages you got for this one?
Well, I mean, I got
12.
5 total. 5 total.
Five.
And that's because I got tired of writing at one point.
I would assume so.
I got tired. I got tired of
I
writing.
thought about doing one and I was just like, no.
Yeah. I don't know. I like sometimes to write keeps me... Because I don't have school anymore, so I have no obligation
That's
to
true.
write like you guys do. So I just find something to do.
Well,
Unless
if
I
you
drop
ever
them.
want to write my papers, bro, just let me
Dude,
know.
I'm
I
dead
got
ass.
you.
A friend used to pays me.
Really?
Last time I got paid $50 to do his paper.
God.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna get enough right. I don't need a big
Exactly.
50, but, you know?
My man Rich.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, I'll write a paper. But no, but basically, since I can recall, I mean, and if anyone disagrees, I haven't seen an event of this magnitude. What do you guys think?
It's going to be the biggest fight of all time. Pay-per-view, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
At the end
I
of
mean,
the day...
I guess you could say Pacquiao, you know, was an event.
Mm-hmm.
There was, I think it was quoted to be the fight of the century,
Yeah.
as well as. Oh, and then after the fight, several people said, you know, the saying "better late than never."
Mm-hmm.
Better never than late was what had happened after the event.
Yeah, because Floyd just made look like
know.
a
Well,
fool.
people
don't
The
find
narrative
Floyd as
of that fight was Mayweather was running the whole time, even though he did throw more punches, and I'm gonna keep saying that until I'm on my deathbed with a 2, so I can't really
Mayweather
function when I take a crap.
before he
but-
passes away. Fight Mayweather.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be my last words.
Floyd beat Manny.
But
KO.
But so I went to Brooklyn and I saw my grandfather who he watches boxing. I mean that was the sport that he grew up on. That was his.
Yeah, of
I know.
course.
He didn't have UFC. He's literally like, I mean, that's what boxing really appeals to now. It's the older generations.
Yeah, but
we
they
got
still
UFC.
crazy numbers, man. I swear.
Unfortunately, the older generation still have TVs. They just don't know how to work it.
They still have access to.
But yeah, my grandfather was watching the. Well, I can't. What's
Terrence
the man's?
Crawford in Dung.
Yes,
how
that
do you say
fight.
I believe that's how you pronounce it.
That,
I'm not
that
sure.
fight on ESPN on his box TV.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he was watching it, and I was like, "Hey, Grandpa, what you think of you gonna watch Mayweather McGregor?" And he laughed. He was like, "Oh, that's not a fight, that's a show." And he was just saying how it's a joke. And then I asked him like, "Oh, you don't like UFC?" Like he was like, "No, I can't watch that."
Why?
And I asked him why, and he said, "Because that's not what I grew up on. I gotta see a real fight."
That's understood.
No, no.
The last 2 words, no. But what he did say, how he grew up watching boxing, that's understandable.
How's that not a real fight?
But real fighting is MMA.
He literally said, I grew up on the street throwing hands and not throwing kicks and none of that.
That's not...
Well, once you feel a kick, you tell me if you're in a fight or
Yeah,
not. Once you feel a knee, an elbow,
Yeah.
you get your neck
because
choked.
I was
That's a real
watching
fight.
I was watching that boxing fight for one round and I was like, wow, this is so.
Right? I was a little bored.
I was like, I mean, it was, and
Crawford fight?
it ended in what, the second
The
round,
third round.
third round.
Crawford looked amazing.
It's a boxing fight, man. Them bore me to death. I
Because
can't.
you got to realize
Not
what
with a
we've seen.
knockout
We've
artist
seen
like Crawford.
Yair Rodriguez.
Yes.
We've seen these. We've seen Cub Swanson.
Vandal
do Choi.
Vanderlei
Silva.
who doesn't
That's
know
the
how to
truth.
throw a regular punch. He just does everything else.
It's just-
Like it kind of bores me just watching people move around a ring with big gloves that cover their whole body, and they.
And most of the fights don't, except for Fasil and Terrence, both of their events they finished, but most of them don't end in such manner, especially at that early.
Floyd.
Yeah, the decisionator, another Dominic
So.
Cruz there.
Yeah, like I mean, the reason I could watch Floyd fights are the fact that it's fun sometimes. Sometimes asterisk on that one. It's fun to see defense sometimes, head movement, and all that counter punching. But besides that, it's not like
It's not real fighting.
yeah, no, not that it's not real fighting. It's just not real entertaining to me personally.
Real fighting to me is UFC. And
The reason I have any excitement for this Conor and Mayweather is just because it's Conor and Mayweather.
Fuck.
God bless you.
Thank you.
But yeah, so with that being said, let's get into this.
Like you. Well, I'm slowly going through it. Like, try not to make it seem like I'm saying a
Yeah.
speech. You know, I hate when I do that. I don't want to be speaking at you guys. You know, no.
Yeah, I just wrote down 5 points.
Yeah.
How Conor could be Floyd.
But basically, like we were saying, the only big events that have happened prior involve either Mayweather or McGregor. You look at it, I mean, his fight against Pacquiao when they finally met received 4.6 million buys.
And then before that, I believe the second biggest pay-per-view was him and De La Hoya at 4 million or 3.9.
I think it might have been Canelo.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
because
think
Canelo was selling because
Yeah,
the Mexicans love him.
Yeah.
But
Well, De La
they
Hoya
essentially
too.
received a revenue of 410 million just on pay-per-view alone, which the gate was 72 million. And again, prior to that was Mayweather and Alvarez. Again, the only people to top them are themselves. I mean, with McGregor, you have holds the pay-per-view record in regards to the UFC being Nate, and I think is it Nate?
Yeah, Nate too.
Nate too. Even that, yeah, because unfortunately UFC 205 didn't sell more than that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Surprised me.
People like a grudge match in comparison
Yeah.
to,
Especially the
and Eddie Alvarez couldn't sell.
Yeah,
Also.
But either way, the rest of the card was built perfectly under that main event.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, it's still a great pay-per-view.
No, yeah, I enjoyed it. So yeah, I mean, I would say both of these fighters, and I made what you guys will see when you click on the thumbnail if you're on YouTube. I made a poster for this, and just money falling down, because both of these people are synonymous with money. I mean, they really are. Especially one has adopted the nickname Money from being Pretty Boy Floyd. So
You're having the fight in your house. I'm having the fight in mine, and I was trying to round up, of course, as many people as I can. I'm trying to make money off of it myself.
I know, we need to.
You guys making too much money. You guys giving them too much money. You guys got to combine.
And
I thought so.
And I asked my friend, my coworker, and I was like, "Oh, yo, you're more than welcome to come over to my house." Like, "Oh, I'm having it at my house. You want to come out?" And I was like, "No, that was vice versa, bro."
Yeah.
And then, so I was asking everybody, and they all got they're literally all doing their own thing, and it's like, it's an event, like you're saying. Everybody is buying it, and this is an age where the pay-per-view is dead.
Now to transition to what you're saying, is this? I mean, the question most people are wondering: is it worth it?
No.
Is this fight worth the price?
No, but I'm paying it.
No.
Yeah, I guess it
It's
is.
not worth the price, I'm gonna be honest.
I guess it don't matter what it costs. You guys are gonna do
Now,
it.
here's a question to get past what you're trying to ask. If Floyd would come into the sport of the UFC, would that be worth buying?
No,
It's the same question.
that's
Just a
CM
different
Punk
sport.
walking inside that ring.
That's true.
Well, I think there's more variables that'll hurt Floyd. You know, and you're limiting Conor, but at least you know Conor's stance. He's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna get hurt.
For me personally,
Floyd has no chance.
UFC would have a card behind that. You know, would
Well, I mean,
people
we've
to
seen
watch.
James Toney and Randy Couture, and I was interested in seeing that.
and they'll have a whole card behind it. Like, I'm not a boxing fan, as strictly a UFC fan, and one that UFC MMA in general.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of boxing, so I care nothing for the undercard. I'm paying $90, $100 for one
Could be
fight,
better than the real fight,
and
than the high main event.
they probably will. They probably will, but.
Well, I have two answers to it, whether it's worth the price. I think the grand spectacle itself is. I think it is. Just granted, every event is usually based or judged based on the event itself rather than the investments that were made to create this event. But this event has come along gracefully. It came out fast. Like, I mean, the names were mentioned. One guy created a poster. I actually follow him. His name's Alex Murillo. He created a poster of Floyd and Conor. With Conor with that, what's that shirt?
El Chapo.
El Chapo shirt. They're staring each other off. And then Floyd retweets or reposts it. And then
he started spreading the rumors, hey, I might fight Conor McGregor. And then Conor took
And the
him
next
to
thing,
notice.
before you know it, it gets announced in June.
Yeah.
Did you ever think it was going to happen?
Nope.
I thought the way Floyd negotiated, no. Because him and Pacquiao were supposed to fight in 2009. And then they didn't fight till what?
2015.
12?
2014 now.
2015.
Hold on, what's going on? I got two different perspectives. He was here back.
When was it? 2012?
It was a year before we graduated.
No, I don't know when it was. Actually.
Mayweather. You gotta keep talking. I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah, 2015.
No way. That sounds too close.
Wait, we gotta find out the answer, champ.
2015.
Wow.
Was it?
Jeez. And
Was it May 2nd?
There were words.
May 2nd.
There were words of it happening in 2009.
And that's when Pacquiao was on fire.
That's what I was like, Floyd's old. This shit ain't happening.
Yeah.
This shit ain't happening. But in June, we get the announcement that's happening in 2 months. 2 months. Prepare yourself.
Conor was already training.
Yes,
so
it's
was
January.
Floyd,
I think he's been putting in boxing work. So I mean, if you ask me, I consider an event worth watching.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of the guy that gets excited for an event before it happens.
Yeah.
Right before they step in, I'm like,
right.
I can't wait to see him walk in.
Yep.
It's like these
Yeah.
little.
That's the way I am every time Conor fights.
And granted, I mean, sometimes the events don't live up to expectations when it happens, but at least everything leading up to it has been good. Except the press conferences after Toronto felt awkward.
Brooklyn, yeah.
They were too many.
Yeah, there were too many to the point where people received it as it being a rehearsed show. Where Floyd would say the same jokes he did as usual, and it just looked like it was just more fabricated than real, So I mean, but have you guys heard of that fight that happened with Ali and Inoki? No, it's an MMA fight where Ali was fighting some mixed.
Oh
martial
yes,
arts.
yes.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, now
Had MMA
Point being,
rules in the ring.
what happened? Yeah.
It was
boxing
MMA rules in a boxing ring.
Yeah. So, I know it sounds like it's happened now that we said it, but technically
That happened on Saturday.
that would be weird.
It'd be a
But
wrap.
I heard the fight was terrible because
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it myself.
It
but
was. I've seen clips of it.
Inoki just didn't want to get up from the floor. So, and I don't think Ali was entertaining the ground.
Quick question before we get into the analysis of your paper and my points. What's more embarrassing, Floyd joining the UFC to fight Conor in an octagon, or Conor going into the ring on Saturday against Floyd?
You know which one's more dangerous?
No, you said dangerous? Or
No, what's more
embarrassing?
embarrassing? On the outcome of the fight. I think it's the octagon. If Floyd
Wait, on the outcome? It's probably boxing.
No, I think octagon. Because if Floyd comes into the octagon, I think it's way more of an embarrassment for himself than Conor. Because Conor, he's coming into the ring.
So you mean I see, because boxing is usually the A side, and if he's going to the B side's territory, that is
because it's everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's martial arts, and
And
then for
he's gonna
Conor,
be
it's just
exploded.
boxing, and that's his go-to.
But what
You know what I'm trying to say?
would be more embarrassing? Conor knocking Floyd out in a boxing ring, or Floyd knocking Conor out in the octagon?
I say boxing.
It's tough because
Oh, that's a good question.
I think I'd be embarrassed for Conor.
Yeah.
Because you should dive on him as soon as that bell rings, or kick him in the head.
I would feel embarrassed for Floyd Mayweather because he's.
You should
next
choke him
level.
Were
out.
you the one who thought Floyd was going to do well in the octagon? I feel like I had a discussion with you. We spoke about it, and I mentioned that Conor would tell him apart in the octagon, and I feel like you were baffled by my response. Was it you?
I wouldn't be baffled by it. No.
I think it was you
No.
a year ago, I swear.
I argued Ronda Rousey in the octagon with Floyd Mayweather before. But not Conor. 'cause
Whoa.
Well, no, I actually now I might favor you. Now that we've seen Ronda. Now that we've seen Ronda.
Ronda. Either way, Ronda in an octagon, I think she'd take Floyd.
If she could close that distance.
Yeah.
But don't forget, Floyd's still naturally stronger.
Yeah.
Generally. I mean, he could push off. I mean, he's good in the clinch.
Either way, you throw him, it's over. So
I mean, she get the armbar, absolutely.
yeah,
gonna
she's
choke
the
him
best
out?
arm bars in the game. And
Yeah,
when
that's
fuck
one
Ronda,
thing.
it's about Conor.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, how did she get in here?
Sorry.
I feel like we had that discussion. Never mind.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
training for WWE, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
At the moment.
Now, I guess it kind of ease in from what you guys were saying. The second reason I say this fight's worth watching is because the unknown. There's unknown. I mean, the only event that was similar was Ali and Inoki, and Inoki just laid down, and it was more of an MMA mixed rule in a boxing ring. But this is a mixed martial artist who started boxing, karate,
Grappling.
Yeah.
And all that.
and is now coming to test the waters against the pound for pound king, the pound for pound king of this generation. But the still slowly coming up now. I just gotta get that out there. But, I mean,
So,
yeah. I
He's
mean,
up there. Top 5.
yeah. I mean, I do
Terrence.
consider him. Terrence,
Underward.
yeah.
Yeah, I love Terrence Crawford.
We find out we get we get sidelined here.
No, let's stay on topic.
All right. Now on to the speaking about Conor McGregor. I mean,
Now, do you want me to go first? Because I know you have more points than me.
I think your points and mine would be similar.
Yeah.
So if I go,
Yeah,
you
just
jump on.
tackle on.
Okay. All right. I'll add my points to yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like ours would be similar anyway.
Yeah.
But Conor's 29, 21-3, averaging a striking percentage of 59% with at least one knockdown in his last 10 fights. So clearly, the guy hits. The guy
knockout
hits hard.
artist.
Yeah,
It's very clear.
we all know that.
Yeah.
The majority of his strikes, nearly half, are significant. So that also shows that he's accurate. As
Yeah,
fuck.
very precise hands, good hand speed.
His last two opponents have been Paulie Malignaggi. I wrote in parentheses, LOL. I wrote LOL. Eddie Alvarez and Nate Diaz. So his last two have been Eddie and Nate. He's 9-1 in his last 10. And the guys...
What you mean his last opponent is Nate Diaz?
Eddie Alvarez and Nate. The last two.
I thought you said
UFC
I
fighters.
thought you just said Paulie Malignaggi.
Well, it was.
Well, I was fucking around with
Okay.
Now, I mean, Conor's now entering and facing his biggest challenge to date. I mean, I doubt any of you guys can correct me here, but he's never faced a legitimately talented striker his whole UFC MMA career. And the only way you can say is Jose. But Jose was 12 seconds.
Yeah.
So that doesn't, I wouldn't count that.
No, you don't consider Nate a striker?
Elite?
Oh, he was hitting him.
Huh?
He was hitting him.
I don't think he's elite. That's what my
he's
point
a good
is.
boxer, but not elite.
He trains with
Because
elite fighters.
I always see people, he never faced a good striker before, and then people bring up the Nate point. That's what I see on Twitter, and I question it myself.
The only reason they say that
Are
is
they kidding?
because
Yeah, exactly.
the only reason
Elite. I said the term elite. Like, Floyd is 1 in 1 billion.
Yeah.
Okay, that's too much.
The reason why they say
He's
elite,
He's 1 in 300 million. I'm gonna do that.
the reason why they say elite is because he rocked Conor.
Yeah.
So it happened. It's UFC. It's fighting.
And especially you have to.
Yeah.
What Nate Diaz is so damn good at is pushing the pace.
Yeah.
And he was bigger than Conor. And he has a longer reach than Conor.
Yeah.
So
He's
these
a better
people
jiu-jitsu
think
game
because
than
he
Conor,
caught Conor, he's a great striker.
Yeah.
No, he's never. I mean, he trains with great fighters like Andre Ward.
Yep. His brother, Nick.
Yeah, but his skill set, I wouldn't consider technically elite. I think he's good at what he does.
I don't think
He don't know how to dodge a punch for his life.
I don't know. So whoever says he's elite,
You don't care.
He's
I
a
love
sparring
Conor.
partner.
For real.
So let me get to a few points to basically essentially to lead him to victory.
For Conor?
Yes. I wrote specifically this, and I'm sure most of you can quote who this is. Be like water.
Bruce Lee.
Of course. Bruce Lee stated that himself, and the water becomes a cup, and the cup becomes a bowl, depending on where. I mean, not the cup. The water becomes the bowl, and pour it in the cup. Basically, Conor, he must strike as hard as crashing waves, but be as smooth as a waterfall. I know it all sounds like a conundrum. It doesn't make sense, but it kind of doesn't when you're fighting.
It does sound like poetry.
I know, but it kind of doesn't make sense when you're fighting Floyd Mayweather. I mean, this is his moment. If he accomplishes this task, he'll be renounced and spoken of for generations. Imagine
you
that.
think he honestly believes in himself that he...
Yes, I do.
Conor?
I
Yeah.
do. It's crazy.
He has the most confidence out of any other athlete I've ever seen in my life.
And because of that, honestly, I've never looked up to someone in combat sports as much as I do him.
That's very
Of course, like Dominic Cruz and Vasil are my loyal ones in the long run because of their technical skill. But Conor, he looks at Floyd, and this goes to my second point. He looks at Floyd as just a man. He's just a man.
That's how that you should view an opponent.
Yeah, Floyd is human who eats and shits just like
He ain't
us.
afraid of nobody.
This is the greatest. This is Conor's greatest advantage, considering he isn't intimidated by Floyd in any sense. During the fight, he needs to talk. I'm saying during the fight, he needs to
Of
talk.
course, they're not allowed to though.
I know.
What?
But what's the ref gonna do?
Yeah.
He's not allowed to talk?
No, the ref will warn him.
He'll warn
What's
him,
the warning?
But-
Stop talking.
which is odd, but because Floyd gets to nod his head when a combination isn't good, and so I think Floyd.
That's part of it.
I need Conor to sell the judges just like Floyd does. Because
See, that's why I don't like boxing. It's too respectful.
What is
It's
this?
way too nice.
I know.
This Stephen Thompson in there.
Because whenever Floyd's on the ropes and say someone lands a 6-punch combo, but most of it hits the glove, Floyd usually nods. And I think that sells the judges. That the judges be like, okay, that was defensive. Yeah. We won't count that towards this fighter nor that one. So, I mean, he's got to encourage Floyd by talking, by giving him these kind of responses to make a mistake, instill doubt in Floyd, and cause him to get frustrated if he can. If Conor can manipulate Floyd in these ways, this would no longer be about which many people think is damn near 0% chance that Conor will hit Floyd. Now, we spoke about his stance.
Yes.
I wrote as a tip, use non-traditional methods, but don't go full retard.
That's a good point.
That's from, where's that from, that expression?
That is from
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. You never go full retard.
That's stance.
The reason basically the conclusions I've drawn from watching the McGregor footage during his open workout, as well as the minor footage we've seen of him sparring and earlier images that he released, is that Conor would not approach Floyd with a Canelo stance, with any kind of traditional boxing stance.
He's gonna use his own. Yeah.
I'm assuming one of the biggest, and actually I said it several times. I remember saying it to you, Jesse. Is what kind of stance will he choose? I remember when I heard about this fight starting, and it seems he's choosing more of a karate stance, with his right hand lead forward. As near his opponent as possible, so that could possibly frustrate Floyd.
Yeah. And it's kind of what John Jones does with his hands.
Who got the reach?
Conor by 2 inches.
Yeah.
You sure by 2?
Yeah.
I feel like I checked before. And
yeah, 72 for Floyd, 74 for Conor.
Okay.
I'm not lying. Now, Conor will have his right hand forward real close to Floyd, so that'll be interesting to see how Floyd responds during that kind of awkward situation. But I also assume his stances will switch. I don't assume he's going to stick with one approach. No. I think he might go traditional.
He switched.
He might switch stances. He might, I mean, he might shift a lot.
Yeah. So his footwork has to be not as good as Floyd Mayweather, but even though his footwork has faded, but Conor he does have to move his head. He has to move his feet. He has to move his body.
Now I'm not doubting Conor. No. He's capable of performing traditional boxing, but he's not going to do it better than Canelo, Mosley, Cotto, De La Hoya, Judah, Hatton. He's not going to do it better than the people who train.
Yeah.
So I think he should embrace the non-traditional against fighting Floyd.
Because it's something Floyd has never seen before, like I said before.
And in regards, let me think what I was going to say.
Plus, he's a southpaw, to add to the point. And arguably, a lot of people would say the southpaws Floyd has fought. I believe he fought 7 or 8. The last one he fought was Manny Pacquiao. They give him tendency to give Floyd a bit of a struggle. Zab Judah is a great example. But at the end of the day, Floyd Mayweather has beaten all of his opponents. So at the end of the day, Floyd still got the job done.
Pacquiao was in much trouble.
Well, going
Pacquiao is smaller, yeah. The size makes a significant difference in a fight. Yeah. But also with that, Floyd is a man. But this third point, don't underestimate Floyd because of his age. I think his speed and reflexes are still immaculate.
Still his world.
He has KO'd 26 opponents and he hasn't felt a punch from Floyd yet. And I absolutely take him seriously, but also he's human. And then next point, make it a fight.
I'm not scared of Floyd's power though. Would you agree?
His speed, absolutely.
His speed, yes. Power?
Power, not really.
Okay.
Power, not really.
Does that go away, power, or no?
No. I don't think so.
I don't know.
I thought speed
depends what type of fighter you are.
Speed goes away, but power...
I don't know about power. That's
power,
what I'm saying.
Mike Tyson would still knock me the hell out.
It depends on your weight, I guess. But speed actually adds to power. So, if you lose speed, you lose power. Well, anyway, Conor's not here to outbox the pound for pound king. So he is here to fight, close the distance when able, work the body,
he's gonna fight him.
And chess. Work the body and chess. People find this game where they search for, it's like a tennis ball in a wide field where you're trying to hit it while it's moving, Hit the body and chest. We've seen that, and fighters work well, like Maidana, Cotto, and at times De La Hoya. De La Hoya was a tough fight for him as well.
You have to abuse the body. But honestly, I could really just see the only 2 ways of Conor winning is the TKO with a body shot or that left hand gracefully with God's power to hit Floyd with that left hand. Those are the only ways Conor will win.
So you make it a fight, make it not a boxing competition, which I know he's already going to do. He's got that planned. Now, one of the few tips that I don't think many people say, but over my experience of watching Floyd, people don't use is feints.
Yeah.
Feints. I literally wrote it several times. I've seldomly seen fighters feint against Floyd, and fighters are generally, they just get frustrated and they start resorting to throwing more punches that are still ineffective.
Because as soon as they step into the ring with Floyd Mayweather, that game plan right out the window. Because when they're fighting Floyd Mayweather, they don't realize how good he is in the ring. That's why he's undefeated.
Yeah. So, I don't see him throwing feints more. I say Conor must set up a trap with 2 to 3 feints during a combination. So you throw 1, 2, you get Floyd moving, trying to bait which one you're going to throw, and then your big punch. Hopefully you time appropriately. Say you throw a right, followed with a feint left, so he ducks away from it, and then you come with the right hook. That would ultimately meet him. So that
or an uppercut, depending on the way Floyd's moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know Conor loves that right hand uppercut.
Yes, he does, and I think he should throw uppercuts because they're hard to evade. You've got hooks you can duck.
Well, I could disagree with that. Nate Diaz.
What?
When Conor threw the right hand uppercut, Nate timed it perfectly, and that's why he rocked Conor.
Oh, that one too.
In the first.
But most of that, he was successful mostly with that uppercut because when Nate would jab, he'd uppercut underneath.
Yeah.
So I think the uppercut's there, and it's hard to evade. Unless you're simply blocking like Floyd would. But if you can't weave out of it generally because it'll hit here up. It's generally targeted in the middle of the chest. So I see that as an advantage too, throwing that. So yeah, feint, get Floyd to bite off of one of those, and actively look to counter during Floyd's last few fights. No one has successfully attempted to counter. When Shane rocked him, I believe it was a counter over Floyd's jab.
Yeah.
I believe it was a counter over Floyd's jab.
He threw a right hand,
and it nearly dropped Floyd. So, and this actually serves Conor well because he is a counter puncher. He's a damn good one at it. Yeah. So, while pressing Floyd, feint, and then Floyd usually looks to counter as you're hitting him. If you've seen with Canelo's hitting the body and Floyd's just picking him in his face as Canelo's hitting him. So you want Floyd to bite, throw say his right, and then from there as a southpaw he usually weaves backwards and throws his left over. That would be beautiful if that landed, So Conor must be ready as he's actively striking, and that shit sounds damn near impossible. You gotta strike and wait for Floyd to throw so that you can counter. And then move, because Floyd does lead, as many people don't know. He has led before. Move, don't strike Floyd in a one-dimensional fashion. Look to strike in a variety of angles. Shift Floyd's weak side when able. And slip punches between the guard. Conor's ability to be accurate will help. I really do think. And then last points, have fun. I mean, you're in it. It's your first fight in boxing.
You're making over $100 million. You gotta have fun.
Have fun because it would loosen you up, and I think he's perfect at doing it. It'll loosen him up and have him think wisely. Oh, and the last one. During the mid-rounds, you need to start changing game plans. Because Floyd, absolute respect. He has a computer. He starts processing the first 4 rounds. Okay, this
even in
shift,
fight.
throw a left. He'll feint the left, go up right, uppercut. He'll start picking that. So like 5, 6, those rounds start changing the game plan. Or if any round change, just don't make it a pattern that you can copy. Don't make it a pattern that Floyd will pick up.
My first point is take advantage of Floyd's brutal hands.
Hit him.
And walk through Mayweather's shots. Anything Mayweather's throwing through, walk right through them. Just keep the pressure. You have to keep the pressure on Floyd Mayweather. He's not he's always adjusted to pressure very well. He's an undefeated boxer, but when you pressure a fighter, period, they could get nervous or whatever. They could slip and mess up on a combination, etc. So who knows what Conor could do if he does walk through Mayweather's shots and he does trap Floyd like in a corner. I would give the advantage to Conor, because when the judges see that, even though if this fight is to go to decision, the judges aren't going to give Conor a single round because it's Vegas judges, and the fight is in Las Vegas T-Mobile Arena, where Floyd has boxed before in Vegas. So I don't think he gets a single round for Conor's advantage. Point number 2, like I said before, southpaw threat. Mayweather's tendency to struggle against southpaws. He's only fought a few in his career, like I mentioned, Manny Pacquiao, who it looked easy for him. Zab Judah, which is one of his toughest fights. Yeah, I know he's training with him right now. It's Floyd Mayweather's sparring partner. They're very good friends. And just that type of that karate stance is gonna fuck with Floyd because it's something Floyd's never seen before. And yeah, Floyd's undefeated. Blah 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 blah. That stance not gonna work. Who knows? We have to wait till Saturday to see. Number 3, relentless aggressive pressure. You have to smother Mayweather's attacks. Don't let Floyd pick you apart with his counterpunching. Don't even give him a chance to throw his jab, which he'll keep all night in McGregor's face. You have to pressure Floyd. You have to. Number 4, which is very important, always be first. Never let Mayweather have time to think. You always have to have Mayweather reacting to everything. If it's, like you said before, if it's a 5-6 punch combination off the start of the fight, so be it. You always have to be first. I don't think that rat-a-tat jab for Conor's advantage is going to work for him. And then the combination, which I think could put Mayweather away, but I'm not saying Conor's going to knock out Floyd. I want it to happen, but I don't believe it's going to happen. The overhand right and then the counter left. I think that's going to play a major key, especially if Floyd's moving and ducking, or maybe it could be a left hand and then right uppercut, which he landed against Eddie Alvarez, which put Eddie Alvarez on the canvas. It could be any shot where Conor lands and it could maybe hurt Floyd, but who knows? So, but yeah, I only wrote 5. So
Yeah, I mean, on to Floyd. I felt like a dick writing what Floyd should do. I mean, this is his sport. This is his world. I mean, I would consider him a master.
Floyd?
And I think people use that word too much. They call people masters. And when I view master, I view like samurai. You know, you're like a master. I view him, he's master class at boxing. I mean, I only consider very few people, even many of the boxers on the pound for pound list, I don't consider masters. You probably know who I consider in the boxing world would be Vasily Lomachenko. And let me define it for those that are hating. I would define master as someone who has achieved their sense of style, which Vasil has, and so has Floyd, in combat, and is able to instill that style not only during training, but during live competition at an unequal manner. Like, I mean, you've got to be just as great as you are in sparring as you are, or even better, under lights. And Floyd has it looks great in sparring all the time.
Well, the one thing Floyd could do is that the shoulder roll and how he keeps that shoulder high. And it's a beautiful thing in boxing.
I know he's great at it, and I mean, also he switches stances on the fly whenever he needs to. He shifts away, he circles out during rope pressure, but also he wins fights sometimes just on the ropes.
Yeah,
which is crazy. It's crazy to me because De La Hoya kept him on the ropes a lot, and he still won that fight. You know, eventually though, he usually pushes the fight more towards the center and starts working. And people don't believe, you know, they claim he's a running fighter, but he leads. And quite frankly, at times, especially against Canelo, he started landing uppercuts. He started landing punches first on Canelo, frustrating Canelo. And Canelo never looked worse, but it's a good performance for Floyd. Now, my first point to Floyd, because this is all respect, is have fun. I mean, this is probably going to be his last fight. The Berto fight, he was having fun there too. He was not even, I don't even think he focused on Berto. I think he was, because during the corners, he would speak to his dad and be like, we were here since day one, saying things like that. So he was having fun.
He's doing that now. He's not even training.
Have fun. I mean, remain loose. Like I said, do not allow Conor to engage or encourage you to engage in a brawl, because I believe the brawl side favors McGregor.
Yeah, of course.
Do you think he should try to knock out McGregor?
No.
Well, let me. It's in one of my points. Body. That's my next point. Conor's large weakness is his gas tank. Attack the body to slowly fade and wean Conor's gas tank. That's something Paulie referred to. He said he was hitting Conor and heard him grunt like a girl.
Yeah, Nate did it beautifully as well.
Was that true though?
Well, there's 3 sides to every story, and I would say there's Paulie's, there's McGregor's, and then there's the truth. The truth always falls somewhere in the middle. You know, what do you want me to tell you? Now, use the clinch. He's a master at it.
Yes,
it is a completely different area of engagement than Conor is used to. There's no Muay Thai plum. There's no elbows. There's no knees. Floyd will lower his shoulders, sneak uppercuts in, wait for Conor to throw his left straight, dodge that, counter immediately. I mean, that's Floyd's game as well. And then I said avoid the ropes, but unless it's to exhaust McGregor, because generally Floyd will allow opponents to, with his traditional stance, just blocking, they'll hit his arms, they'll hit his head. I mean, they'll barely hit his head, and they'll eventually wean, they'll eventually fade. Do I think Conor can make 12 rounds? I don't know.
I don't think he gets past 7.
Yeah. And
You got Conor getting knocked out?
meaning gassed.
No, just like tired level.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've no way in hell.
So if Floyd by all means wants to use a rope a dope to tire McGregor by all means.
Did against Manny.
Mm-hmm. And then counter off and let McGregor straight. I mean, McGregor throws that straight, Floyd goes over the top. That's Conor's greatest tool. Use it against him and counter over the top with the right. That's what I wrote. And then make Conor miss. I mean, these are all obvious, but making Conor miss will also fade his gas tank as well. And I know Floyd can go all 12 rounds plus another 12. And then this goes to your point that you asked. Lead. I mean, you are better at boxing than he is. Yes. Lead the dance. Force McGregor to be defensive. It's a style he's not used to because he's usually the hammer. Mm-hmm. What if Floyd becomes the hammer and Conor's the nail? I don't know how Floyd will be. I don't know how Conor will be on the defensive. Sure, we see him counter against Eddie. But you don't counter against Eddie the way you counter against Floyd.
Mayweather,
and Floyd doesn't strike the way Eddie does. Mm-hmm. So I wonder how Conor will be if he's getting struck on or towards rather than him leading. And then the rest, do you. That's what I said. I said, do you, Floyd? I ain't got shit for you. I mean, you know how to fight. So it's gonna be a hell of a fight. I don't think Floyd's style is gonna make it boring because Conor has never been in a boring fight. Never.
I don't think it's gonna be. I'll be nice. I don't think it's gonna be more boring than Floyd and Manny. Because that Manny Pacquiao fight was boring to me.
I know, because Conor's a showman. At the end of the day, he's gonna talk. He's gonna get faces. He's probably gonna be, as soon as he gets hit first time with Floyd, he's probably either gonna like it or not. Yeah. You know, if Floyd hits hard, he's not gonna like it. You won't see much of a response. But if he gets
unless Conor's connecting himself, yeah.
But if Floyd hits him and Conor's like, I didn't feel that, he's gonna gonna let Floyd know. Yeah.
He does all the time.
I mean, the game plan to beat Floyd is damn near hard, especially in a world where the judges favor his style. Is damn near hard. Because most of my tips, a lot of them are contradictions. You know, hit like water, hit like a waterfall, be as calm as or be as calm as waterfall, hit like waves. It's like, it's so difficult. You have to be inside Floyd. Did I really just say that? I say you gotta be inside Floyd. I'm sure. No, I say you gotta be in the clinch with Floyd, but you also gotta be out. You gotta place him on the ropes, but he still has a fine shot at hitting you when he's on the ropes. He's still hard to hit when you put him on the ropes. I'm telling you, man, I haven't seen anyone better than him. Yeah. I still think Vasil will lose to him. And I love Vasil.
Well, the Vasil's only like 130, right?
Vasil, fights at he fights ideally at 125. So Floyd's way too big for him. But even if Floyd's style translated down there, I still favor Floyd.
Now, before we gotta sign off here, I want to cover 2 more things.
Yeah, I want to ask one more thing too.
What's your thing? Because my thing is kind of closing notes.
It's gonna break my heart if he does this. Do you see Conor getting DQ'd?
DQ. I doubt it.
Do you see him trying? Do you see him trying to do something that's against the
rules he'll get a warning.
The Athletic Commission. He's not gonna get a warning if he fucking hits him with an elbow and he drops.
Do you think it's gonna be that dramatic?
I don't think
Conor's calm.
Never know.
Conor's calm. Victor Ortiz was upset during that fight and threw a fucking headbutt that you can't even do in mixed martial arts. Conor has always been calm. I don't see him, even if he's losing, I don't see him throwing anything illegal.
All I know is the buzz of that. If he would knock him out like that, if he does do that, he loses 90% of his purse.
And that's your family's money.
I don't think he's doing anything like that. I think if he does anything to get him DQ'd, it's on strictly accidental. Like, just, force of habit.
Okay.
When I say make it a fight, I also think Conor needs to almost like pin him down, if you can, with one hand, and strike with the other.
Yeah, they'll warn him.
Seriously. That's illegal. So Vasil do that the other day.
No, they're not allowed to do that. They get warned. They do it twice, they get DQ'd automatically.
Right. I guess which referee, because Vasil,
that's the official ref, correct?
Who?
Did you say the name of the ref?
Oh, Vasily. I'm talking about.
Oh,
Vasily.
I'm sorry.
No, his last fight, his opponent was ducking and weaving in the corner of the cage. I mean, in the corner of the ring, and he simply just put his forearm up and just started throwing these little pepper punches. It was more of taunting than anything.
Maybe.
But I don't know, because Floyd does it as well, where he holds the opponent head down.
Yeah. The fights I've seen where he's done it, he got warned all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the last two things I want to ask you guys is, one, who do you got winning? Of course,
Floyd.
I know how you are, Chris, but does that change at all for boxing, or especially with this fight? Are you going?
I can tell you who I'll bet on, but that's it. If my money was on the line, I'm
Okay.
not betting on McGregor.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so
Yeah,
So I think that answers the question.
Floyd by decision is my prediction. He's not knocking him out. I'll bet $100 he doesn't knock Conor out.
But
I
Conor
think
wins
Floyd
if he
might
gets
knock
to a
him out.
decision. I think
I'm telling you now, if Conor McGregor gets knocked out by Floyd Mayweather, I'll put my nudes on like Instagram or something.
Nobody wants to see that. You gotta decide somebody wants to see that, dude.
That's how upset I'll be.
If Conor makes
I'll
it,
cry.
I think he's getting knocked out.
if Conor makes
I
it,
wouldn't put money on it, but I think he's
if
getting
Conor
knocked
makes
out.
it to round 12, he won.
If he gets
makes
past,
it past 112,
if he gets past one round, he won.
You think?
It's embarrassing. If
Getting
he gets
knocked out in the
past
second round, bro.
one. Well, then,
I'm
if
saying
he lasts one round in the boxing ring with Floyd,
If
either
round
way.
12
It's not
goes
like he's
by-
in there with Muhammad Ali.
Either way, if you look at boxing, he's in a ring. He's not in the type of sport he's supposed to, and he's
I'm just
not in
saying. If he loses to a decision, he won.
Yeah.
He won. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Floyd
Like-
said it himself, and he honestly meant that when he was getting interviewed by Stephen A. Smith. Because I watched that whole interview. He said if Conor lasts 12 rounds with me, he won. Not literally, but like won. Like
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
Metaphoric
Spiritual-
way.
Yeah.
I mean, you stood up there with the best pound for pound on 6 months' notice, and you managed to make it without Floyd finishing you. Come on.
All right, now last thing.
All right, you should have done.
Last thing is the game of what ifs. So what if Conor does knock out Floyd?
He's the greatest
What
fighter.
round? I'm just wondering.
Either way,
Let's
If
say
it's round 2, like he said,
Either
I'm
way.
struggling to give him 2
I-
rounds. I'm struggling.
let's say 2 rounds.
Tell me, well, I'm prolonging, but when he says that, don't you believe him? He said, I'm fucking
Yeah.
struggling to
I
give him
do.
2 rounds.
I believe
That's
him.
great. Like,
I
he
believe
believes
him.
himself. He believes himself so much.
Okay, but
He
if-
ain't fucking joking.
if he knocks out Floyd,
It's okay to love me
Yeah,
the way
it's okay, Floyd. It's all over.
he just posted that picture.
Yeah, he did. He did the same thing. He did the same thing with Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
What happened? 13 seconds. Oh, that's another question. Oh goodness, somebody gotta stop. But if
Oh,
Conor,
Jose's training boxing. But
yeah,
he looks
yeah.
good.
If Conor does knock out Floyd Mayweather inside, I'll give him 4 rounds. He's the greatest fighter of all time. Period. End of story. That's just me.
No, sure.
Possibly, yeah.
Sure, I ain't playing that. Oh, Floyd's 40 because no, he looked
No.
great 2 years ago.
If you knock out Conor McGregor, if you knock out Floyd Mayweather at 50, I don't give a fuck.
And I'm concerned because Floyd's stating publicly that he's partying every night.
Yeah, he's at the strip club.
Is
his own
that
strip
a
club.
fail-safe?
He just
Hey, I lost. I was fucking partying every night. I didn't
He's-
give a shit. I just wanted the money.
at this point,
Oh man, I
he
didn't
has
finish
confidence in
Conor
himself,
McGregor.
too.
I was partying every
Yeah.
night. I feel like that's a fail-safe.
It might be.
Yeah.
It might be.
I was partying. I couldn't finish. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
What was your other question? Like if Floyd wins or whatever?
One, what does...
50-0 don't count. He don't care either, though.
No.
Floyd said that
Yeah,
himself.
he don't give a
Okay.
fuck.
He don't
So-
count.
But what if Floyd was to knock out Conor?
It doesn't ruin. Well, it ruins Conor's image in a little bit.
Because he's never been knocked out with foreign gloves.
Yeah,
And a 40-year-old man, too.
yeah,
Randy Couture.
yeah. It doesn't knock his image completely off the charts, but
I know, but when you
Little
get
bit.
slumped, that looks bad. I don't care who you are.
yeah.
But luckily, Pacquiao redeemed himself, but he
Yeah,
was slumped
against
by
Marquez.
one fight
Yeah.
with Marquez.
Oh, God. That was a meme for 2 years.
So
Such a
That's
Yeah.
how I'm going to be sleeping.
it might hurt his. It might hurt his reputation.
if
It will hurt his reputation.
Here's the other question: if Floyd gets knocked out, how bad does his reputation get ruined?
Does it?
I think just a little.
If Floyd gets knocked out,
Yeah.
his reputation's going to be ruined.
Is it already set in stone?
I think what his speech will be will help too.
Yeah.
What he says after the fight. If he's like, I want to give the fans something just to watch. I'm not as fast as I used to be. If he plays that kind of card, he might still respect what he was because he
Yeah.
still beat these people.
He's still
before.
top.
We can't
I
take away what he did.
Yeah, I
He's
think
still a top
more,
5 boxer of
I
all
think
time.
more of the attention will go to Conor.
Yeah.
Be like, fucking Conor, you're fucking incredible. Even Floyd couldn't beat you, you know?
Yeah.
So, if he beats Floyd, holy shit. Holy shit, champ.
Just think of that.
I already have a planned seizure.
Yeah.
I'm playing season.
I already have it in mind.
I'll die on this floor.
I will start seizing, foaming out the mouth.
That's a fact.
Because that shit is great. That shit is great. That shit would be...
Just think of this. If Conor does do it...
Why all the greatest of all time look like Michael Jordan? Why can't we look just like
That's what I was thinking about.
Kobe Bryant look just like Michael Jordan?
All the greatest of all time are bald.
Bald and goatees.
That's
Why do
true.
they look like Michael
Kareem,
Jordan?
Shaq.
Like, that's what I was
The fuck?
thinking of, bro. All of them are bald. Magic Johnson, Kobe
else?
Bryant,
Derek Jeter.
LeBron. We consider LeBron bald, right? Derek Jeter. Go down the list.
LeBron will be bald.
He will be.
Go down the list. They're all bald.
He's running away from that shit.
That's crazy.
His
But
Hollywood friends help
one more
him
thing
out.
I want to say. If Conor does do it,
I just can't wait.
49 boxers didn't do it. An MMA guy did it. Come on, give him his fucking
At
credit.
46, we agreed on that.
Yeah. Was it?
Because there were rematches.
Oh.
So obviously they're not, he can't clone Maidana and just set it back. But, yeah, man. 49 attempts, you would say.
Yeah.
Nobody knocks him out.
Oh,
That'd be incredible. No.
I won't be prepared.
What? I have to, because it's gonna be a bitch to upload.
I won't be prepared if Conor wins.
Yeah.
I'll fucking... Oh.
I told you. Well, I have a seizure planned.
I'll probably hyperventilate on the fucking mic after the reaction.
Dude, if we might have to do, depending on how great it is, we
Yeah.
might have to meet up and do a reaction.
Yeah.
We might. But then again,
I
that
mean,
fight probably won't start till... What?
Like 11.
Bullshit.
No, it'll
No. I
it won't fight at
guarantee.
midnight.
I guarantee you after midnight.
Really?
I doubt
After,
it.
Oh,
after they want everyone to tune in.
but we will see.
We'll see.
And we will also catch you to talk about the reactions next week as far as this episode goes.
Good win for Terrence Crawford, right? But against a bum. He needs to fight someone bigger.
Terrence Crawford and
I'm afraid if he moves
we
up.
can't really go over it soon, but it's not for some months. Some UFC future cards are panning out pretty good.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that another
Can't wait
day.
to see my Cody Garbrandt and TJ.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited more for that.
That's
one.
another paper.
That's another paper?
Yes, sir.
Well, I was actually surprised you had a cliffhanger for the Dominic Cruz and
I know. What
Cody.
I don't
It
know
was
my clip
Will the
is.
Savage
Dethroned. I don't know.
dethrone the lion. Or
Oh, but
something.
that's because he quoted. I wanted to do something like that in regards to when Conor said, "Who's going to step back 1st But I was so.
Somebody,
I was so done.
Bro, after 5 pages, I'm done too.
I know. I was so
somebody's O has got to go.
I know nobody understood that when he said it. It was like a quiet in the crowd. He should have said 0. Anyway,
Oh wait, did that what?
that was his first press conference.
Conor.
It was like they threw him out there and he didn't know what the fuck to do. He was just at the mic saying it felt like a stand-up comedy.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Somebody's O has got to go, and he just stands around thinking of the next thing he said. How's this suit look?
Suit says fuck you.
It says "fuck you," and nobody knows that it's like really says "fuck you." So they're just
Until later.
I'm struggling to give him 2 rounds. That guy's a son of a bitch, I tell you. Charles Kavanaugh, actually, right? Charles Kavanaugh, right? He said he watched because yesterday was the anniversary for
Nate, too. Yeah, till the day I lost my mind.
He said he watched that, and he said Conor today 10 times better than what that was.
Yes.
Which
oh,
when I watched that, at my
Charles or
house-
John?
John Kavanaugh, thank you.
All right,
Yeah.
I was
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
I thought you were talking about like one of your friends or something.
with the last name Kavanaugh, bro.
Yeah, you never know.
That has incel on Conor McGregor.
John Kavanaugh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that he looked 10 times better.
Yeah.
Or
And
looked
Conor's
way
coming
better.
off his best performance of his career.
And did you see the picture he posted?
Hold on.
Because he sparred with McGregor and he got knocked on his ass.
Oh, they did that for a joke. They weren't really sparring.
Really?
Yeah, he
I
just did
would've
that for the
shit.
picture.
Shit.
He wouldn't hit his coach like that.
Bro, you sure you're not part of the Mac Life? Because exclusive details
No, because
are
it's
part of his
a
crew.
podcast. So.
So I'm interested,
Well,
I hope he brings something we've never seen in a boxing ring. Oh, I have to say this quote.
Go ahead.
Because Robin
And then
Black
more
said
into
it. Conor McGregor isn't out to make a better guitar. He's out to make something better than a guitar. You guys feel me?
Yeah.
not at all.
Really? He's not there to be a better boxer. He's there to be something greater than what you would consider one.
Why
So-
use guitar though?
I don't know. He chose that. I thought it worked.
Yeah, well,
Either way, it's gonna work for Connor.
So I hope that's what Connor does. Whatever that means. It's like Interstellar. It's like, I don't know exactly. I don't understand Inception that much.
He'll be a rich motherfucker. That's all I know.
well, interesting possibilities that can happen. Interesting night that will happen. Interesting fight.
Why don't you just go to ESU and upload that?
Let's. Well,
Did us.
Oh yeah,
It's open now.
well, I can't. I'm not gonna drive 25 minutes.
Give me it. I'll upload it in Northampton.
Yeah, I think.
Wi-Fi is.
This should
a,
have been
I-
extended because I made a fucking post out, man. Yeah, anyway.
The thing is, though.
oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, I can't. With all that being said, I was going to talk about street business on it. With all that being said, guys, thank you for listening. Hope you have fun this Saturday.
It's my
Christian's
dad's
probably
birthday.
going to be drunk.
I won't be too late because I need to focus on
Okay,
it.
okay.
But
See,
I told you I have a seizure plan.
I like the responsibility. I like the responsibility.
I have
It's
a
my
seizure.
dad's birthday. I'm not watching the fight.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Are you shooting? Right?
Thank you guys for listening. You can catch us on iTunes, YouTube, and SoundCloud under the name All of the Above ENT.
That's right.
With all that being said, thank you.
I'm struggling to get
What
into
was
this.
that guy who just left? That the commentator,
Brian Stan.
Brian Stan.
Thanks, man. We really appreciate the years we forgot about you. Although he made some hella fights with
Yeah,
Wanderlei
Wanderlei.
Silver.
Oh god.
And I think another one. But oh. Chris Lieben.
Yeah.
You will be missed. I act like he died. Well,
You're getting mad. He's making money.
Your presence, I
See,
guess. I honestly don't even know who you are. Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.